Hey everybody, Deplorable Bobby here. This is the way I see it. Before I get started, I want to thank my subscribers. You're the most important people on this channel. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Be sure to subscribe if you're just a viewer. Leave comments and hit the like button every chance you get. I got a couple of shout outs I want to do right quick. And that's one to the Great Douchebag and one to Dangerous Freedom. I want to thank them both for their kind PayPal donations to my channel. It is greatly appreciated, and I thank you both very much. My PayPal information is in the link below if you'd like to donate to this channel to help me grow. It'd be greatly appreciated. I want to talk a little bit today about Planned Parenthood and the Planned Parenthood Action Fund. The Planned Parenthood Action Fund will host a forum on reproductive rights for the Democrat primary candidates in the first event focused solely on women's health. The forum will take place in Columbia, South Carolina on June 22nd, the weekend of South Carolina's Democrat Party convention. As of this report, 16 candidates have already agreed to participate, with others expected to join in. Candidates will be questioned for 15 minutes each on their record, their current positions, and on abortion rights and access to health care and contraception. Among the participants are Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Kristen Gillibrand, and Cory Booker and Joe Biden. Organizers said the forum aims to energize Planned Parenthood supporters as the candidates are questioned directly. It's clear to me that access to reproductive health care, abortions, and legal abortions is the top issue for Democrats. If 13 million Planned Parenthood supporters turn out to the voting polls and activate their networks, they say that Demonrats can tip the 2020 election in their favor. I don't believe that there's anything the Demonrats can do that will unseat President Trump from the presidency in the Oval Office. It just won't happen, people. Kamala Harris said if she's elected, she will prosecute Donald Trump to the fullest extent of the law for obstruction. She says that the DOJ will have no choice. It will have to pursue criminal charges against Trump. There has to be accountability, and Trump will be prosecuted under my watch. Joe Biden told supporters this week, and people, he's reaching way down for this one. Joe Biden told supporters this week that he promises to cure cancer. But this is just one more empty promise by Biden, and he's trying to give false hope to these Americans suffering from cancer. He's pandering to these people. He knows full well that there is no cure for cancer. There may well be a cure for cancer, I don't know. But if there is, we the American people certainly are not being told about it. So I don't think just getting in the White House for Biden is going to do very much to cure cancer, people. You know, he also says that there are over, he didn't say this, actually I did. There are over 100 types of cancer, and he intends to cure them all with one single cure. It's a cure-all for all of cancer. And creepy Uncle Joe pedophile Biden is the one who is going to get the credit for it. Psh. I don't believe a word. I believe that Biden's promise is a dumb thing to promise, because no one cure will work on all forms of cancer. Each form of cancer is a different type of disease unto itself and is treated in different ways. You know, there's plenty to go after Biden about, and this is just one more stupid remark out of Biden's mouth. Biden also says that he will defeat Trump by 13% in the 2020 presidential election. Well, personally, I don't think Joe Biden could win anything. He's been a loser all of his life. He's never done much, and what he has done, he's reneged on since he decided to run for the president. Just like the Hyde Amendment. He had a big hand in the Hyde Amendment, but what is he doing now? He's turned his back on that, and he's acting like he never supported it. People, these Demonrats, they flip-flop like fish out of water. One day they're saying this, and the next day they stand on that. You can never tell what kind of lie and deception is going to be coming out of the mouths of these Demonrats running for the 2020 presidential election. Some people say that these debates are going to be a lot of fun because the Demonrats are going to tear each other up. Well, I've been thinking about that, and I'm not too sure that they're going to attack each other that hard. I think they're all going to get up there, and all they're going to do is bash Trump. If I were a Demonrat, that's what I would do. Rather than get up there and get all of my dirty laundry aired out to America, I would get up there and I would talk about nothing but impeaching Trump and sending him to jail. And I guarantee you, people, there's going to be a whole lot of that kind of talk. Well, they've teamed up these 20 Demonrat hopefuls for the 2020 election, and they put Joe Biden on the second night, along with Kamala Harris and a couple others, Bernie Sanders. But on the first night of the debates, it's going to be Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, and the others. So they got the second in line for the nomination. Biden, of course, is in the lead, and Elizabeth Warren is behind him. So she's going to head off these debates, and I'm really anxious to see what comes out of Pocahontas' mouth. It may be a lot of fun. I hope so. But then again, it might be nothing but just an hour of Trump bashing. So I'm going to watch those debates because I want to get all the ammunition I can about these Demonrats. I intend to put out every bad thing about them that I possibly can. And I promise you this, I will report nothing good about the Demonrats anytime, ever. Before I go, though, this abortion thing is really getting blown out of shape. People are talking about civil war. They're talking about all kinds of terrible things because of these new restrictive abortion laws in a lot of states. But I just want to explain one thing to somebody who might not understand. The reason that these states are all jumping on the bandwagon on these restrictive abortion laws is in hopes that at least one of them, be it Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Utah, Missouri, Ohio, it doesn't matter which state it is, but we're hoping that one, at least one, of those states will be able to fight this in the lower courts and eventually wind up in the Supreme Court. I hope at least one of these cases wind up before the Supreme Court justices so they can make a ruling. But people, I have one fear. And if it gets before the Supreme Court, I venture to say it's going to be kicked back to the lower courts because these social justice warriors that we have in the Supreme Court are not doing their job the way they're supposed to. Before they went on summer break for vacation, they practically did nothing to help pro-choice ideals to be put in their place. These pro-choice people, are standing on Roe versus Wade, and they've been standing on it for a long, long time. And getting rid of Roe versus Wade is the only way we can cut their legs out from under them. And people, that's what we need to do as pro-lifers. We need to cut the legs out from under those pro-choice people. And I don't mean do it with a saw or an axe. I mean cut off their political legs. Give them not a leg to stand on. Overturn R.V. Wade. That's a simple thing to do. But like I said, as of late, I don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do, because Kavanaugh and Gorsuch have done very little about anything since they've become Supreme Court justices. The only thing that Kavanaugh's done is he did vote on the issue of aborted remains and how they're to be disposed of. He did vote on that issue, that this preborn that's been aborted should be treated with dignity and respect and shouldn't be thrown out with the garbage. He did do that. But people, the only problem with that is, so did Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg voted in the affirmative, and so did Judge Kavanaugh. So that tells me that Judge Kavanaugh is equal to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and in my opinion, that's not in very high standing. We had hopes for you, Kavanaugh. We prayed for you. We cried with you. We stood by you when you were being raked over the coals by the Demonrats. We loved you and your family, and we celebrated when it was over for you, because I know it was a terrible thing. But now that you're there, what are you going to do? I, for one, would like some answers. Brett, what do you intend to do? You know, when a bill came before you not too long ago, where it talked about kids in Pennsylvania, I believe it was the Boyertown School District. They've passed a law there that gender-neutral bathrooms will be used at the school, and boys can go to girls' bathrooms and girls can go to boys' bathrooms if they qualify as the opposite gender rather than the gender they were born with. I still don't know how you get on the list of being a girl if you're a boy or a boy if you're a girl. I don't know how this gender thing works. I don't know if you have to put in an application or submit a form or whatever, or make an affidavit stating that you are not the gender of your birth, that you are of the opposite gender, and you demand to use the other sex's bathrooms. Well, Judge, what you did on that was you kicked it back to the lower courts and did not rule for these kids who have been protesting and begging to have this law overturned in their school district because they don't want to go to the bathroom with boys. But Judge, you did nothing. You sat on your hands and did absolutely nothing, and you kicked it back to the lower courts because you didn't want to hear the case. Judge, I'd venture to say your children will never have to go through that kind of scenario, because your kids will never go to a public school. You're going to send them to the best private schools available. And I guarantee you, they'll have bathrooms for girls and bathrooms for boys in the schools you send your daughters to. So why did you sit on your hands? Why did you sit on your hands and do nothing for these children in the Boyertown School District in Pennsylvania? You would have done it for your children. Why don't you do it for ours? People, I'm deplorable Bobby, and this is the way I see it. I'm not saying these words to make anybody mad or angry. But people, I'm bringing you nothing but the facts and my opinion on those facts. And that's the best I can do. I try to do honest reporting with an opinion. Pray for our children. Pray for the lost. Pray for the aborted and the exploited and the trafficked and abused and sexually abused. Our preborns. Pray for them. Pray for each other. Pray for this channel. And pray for me that I may always do the right thing. I'll talk to y'all later.